NCC cadets. Today for me, personally, to be with all of you has been a great pleasure. But coming to your agriculture university, for me it's a homecoming. I'll tell you why. My grandfather, Dr. P.C. Patil Thorad, was an agricultural graduate in 1906. He got the doctorate of Bombay and was the principal and the professor, the first Indian principal of Agricultural College, Pune. Right? On his 100th birthday, 1977, we had the Chief Minister Y.V. Chavan and all the ministers. Actually, the entire cabinet came to Kolhapur. But there was one very special person who came, or a group of people who came. They were from the Agriculture College, Rauri, and they bestowed upon him the doctorate. So, from my bottom of my heart, I am back to agriculture and back to you all, and thank you for giving me time to speak to you. Today, I am going to speak to you on the contribution of NCC for national building. Well, nations in history live and they just go off the air. But a nation which is led well, where the youths actually are given respect, given space in national building, that is the nation which survives for ages. Remember, we are in a democracy, and only about 14 countries in the world have done about 200 years, USA being the largest. And this world is not very fair to Democrats. You know, the communists, for a large number of years, right from the 19th century, they have killed over 100 million people to come to power. And they don't see any reason to hit us back, even today. Now, look at Mao. He himself has killed, in that great leap forward and the Cultural Revolution, about 40 million people. And he wanted to move forward. After taking Tibet, Siancang, Ulgar, Inner Manchuria, Outer, he had his eyes fixed on India. And Nehru was a peace dog. So he was quiet. He had actually, he wanted to be friendly with China. Appeasement. That doesn't work in national sovereignty, security. And we lost outside China. But mind you, gentlemen, today, India is very clear. Why? Because it has got 13 to 15 lakhs of NCC cadets who will step into the shoes, if required, or be good citizens. And they are the nerve centers. They are our building blocks on which the entire nation survives. The youth. Youth is the driving force. And you are the youth. You are the NCC cadets. You'll have to work hard, train yourself, and at the right time, take the position. I am telling you, India cannot remain silent. We have to get back. What is with POK? What is in Gilgit, Baltistan? And that exciting 38,000 square kilometers of our land. China has already eaten 5.5 million square miles. And the world has kept quiet because in 49-50, when Mao was in power, after killing so many people, he was actually, it was a genocide. And that time everyone was quiet because the world war had ended, everyone wanted progress, and he went about his expansionism. 5.5 billion square kilometers. And the poor Tibetans who were pious, lovely. Tibet is such a lovely area. It's the roof of the world. They were the first to be hit. And we just saw it. And now, you know, the Indian Army has got the Special Frontier Force, which basically composes of Tibetans. So China, be aware, we are not going to sit quiet if you keep prowling. Now coming down to the Ncc cadets. Over the years, you know, it came as a charter. In 1948, it was organized. And thereafter, every year, we added first the boys' wing, and then it was the girls, the Navy, and Air Force. So 48, 49, 50, 51, we kept adding blocks. Remember, in nation building, this block is very important. India or any nation is very clear. Any nation makes, you know, institutions. It makes industries, human rights, developments, programs. These are all blocks. But who are actually in the blocks? These are the people. These are young cadets who are in these blocks. And they have to progress because they've got a mind for the future. And once you are having trust in the youth, they'll make your future. So NCC became the driving force of India. Just imagine in 1962. Now I'm talking about what the cadets were doing. In 1962, the cadets were young, most of them. The NCC organization was young, but it rose. It rose when Chinese attacked. In Tezpur, they came to help the administration in shifting families, shifting small children away, then providing administrative backup. And this, even Jawaharlal Nehru became aware that our NCC boys are doing well. Actually, NCC became the second line of defense. That was the work given to it in the 1965 war. There was a Gazette of India which said the NCC will rise and back the armed forces, give them supplies, carry ammunition, look after casualties. Now, all this was integrated. Now, mind you, it was not that they were just, doing this on the borders. Remember that day on Gurdaspur when it was bombed, when Punjab, Adamgarh and all these places were bombed, and the paratroopers were following. The NCC cadets in the villages and those areas around the airfield, they reported exactly where these people were. And nearly 600 paratroopers were rounded up in different areas, near different airfields, and the armed forces neutralized them. That is what NCC is all about. At the Gurdaspur railway station, the NCC cadets of Gurdaspur, the bombardment took place and the train was on fire. And next to the train were the racks of the ammunition. There was this Sergeant Pratap, that those days used to call them Sergeant Pratap Singh of the NCC, and his team of boys who pushed the racks manually out of the fire range and saved the day for us. So therefore, till about 68, the NCC was literally the second line of defense because BSF, CRPF, ITBF, they were just growing up and they needed help. Thereafter, from 62 to 68, NCC was made compulsory. And every boy had to go through that, or girl had to go through that training. But then the nation began to progress. We wanted leaders everywhere. We wanted leaders not only into the army, but we wanted leaders in different fields of industries, in different walks of life. Therefore, the NCC got a new aim, new objectives of more of social justice, social integration, and producing leaders to drive this force forward. India became a very prosperous, growing democracy. All that the NCC does, right? It teaches you to be leaders. But here are the NCC officers who were leaders, and they fought the battle from the front. I'll tell you, in 1965 ops, I'm giving you only one unit, NCC 1 battalion. There are about 966 NCC battalions, 14 directorates. So, and it is covering a vast area of India, nearly 706 districts. But very soon we'll have all the districts, coastal areas and all, crawling with NCC cadets all over. Disciplined NCC cadets, where people look up to, people praise you, respect you. So in 65 ops, I was telling you, my coastmate from 5 Maharashtra Battalion, Kolhapur, Captain Walker, he was awarded the embassy. His battalion, 18 Madras, went all the way to Mokot, 24 kilometers inside Pakistan, in the Sindh area. And there were 4 counterattacks by the enemy. He fought back. He was a motor platoon commander initially, but the enemy came on top of him. He killed any number of them, and he was martyred. So that was an embassy. In 1971, again, 5 Maharashtra Battalion. I'm telling you this thing, but each battalion you go into, and you'll find our army officers of ex-NCC pure, doing so brilliantly well. Now, the Bangladesh war, the Pakistanis had done a genocide, killing 3 million people, and about 4 million came to India. Indira Gandhi rose up. General Manekshaw told him, then General Manekshaw, no, Field Marshal, told Indira, just give me some time, let me get organized, and I'll teach them in a lesson. In 13 days, mind you, Bangladesh was no, Africa or the deserts of Middle East, Iraq and all, where you can go fast. Here, there is a Padma River, there is a Ganga River, there is a Brahmaputra, there are distributaries you have to cross over. And 2 boys, 2 young officers of 5 Battalion NCC. One was, who retired later as Brigadier Harolika. He's a national hero. He got an MVC. His unit, Gokha unit. And then there was a young man, Captain Duffley, again from 5 Maharashtra Battalion, was the leading front of 1 Maratha, Changipaltan. And these battalions under General Sagat Singh. You remember General Sagat Singh? I don't know. We talk of all this people who do nothing and they get full coverage. General Sagat Singh is the same man who taught in Nathula a lesson to the Chinese in 67. The Chinese thought they will creep into Indian territory in Nathula, and General fought back. 80 Chinese were killed, and they ran like hell. China has never fought a First World War. Second World War, they fought in the end after the Pearl Harbor. But it was General Chiang Kai-shek who fought the war. And then he had to go to Taiwan, and that is why Taiwan has become so strong. And China, they lost 40 million people, killed by their own, shaman. Now, they are sitting. So what I was trying to tell you is, Dhaka was surrounded, and there were two people with General Sagar Singh, who did very good. One was given a Mahavir Chakra, the other Veer Chakra. Any number of these NCC officers going across, no, that is what is correct. That is what is decisiveness. On that Padma River, Brigadier Harolikar, he was the CEO. Without any thought, there are 40,000, 50,000 troops of Pakistanis in Dhaka. This man just sat down on a helicopter and landed there with his unit, one after another. Pakistanis were shocked. Similarly, first Marathas, they say General Sagat Singh, he surrounded Dhaka. He made an absolute moon, a chand over Dhaka. And that is how we captured Dhaka. So the NCC has come of age. And we must produce leaders. Today, all leaders are everywhere. Why not? The Prime Minister of India is the NCC cadet. You know that. The Defense Minister of India is NCC cadet. In the field of business, all those businessmen from Godrej to Tata, Godrej was Eddie Godrej was a businessman who was an NCC. And Tata are flyers and lovers of the armed forces. Most of these people, Kalyani, who's making those 155 guns, he's from KG Belgaum, and all these people, Sainik School people, KG Belgaum people, they are all, the NCC was there in their schools, and they're all ex-NCC people. When we come to the ladies, I'll talk women empowerment, I'll talk about our women also that time. I hope I have got it very clear that not only in the armed forces, but all over the defense, all over India, in industries, wherever you go, they'll say, interview, they'll say, have you done some NCC? No, it is left to you, how you develop your personality, how you develop your character. You have to be absolutely brilliant. You can't say, this man has told me to break some houses or go and, do some loot somewhere. And you as a policeman or a lawyer or whatever you are, you just close your eyes. No. The democracy and the charter is very clear. Our army man just cannot go and, fire at some civilians. No, not done. So therefore, your character is very important. You'll have to stand up and tell these idiots that you can't do it. You can't order us to do it. A simple policeman is the strongest man in the world. His one hand can stop 1,000 vehicles. You know that. But if he doesn't do that work, if he doesn't work as per the law, then, and if he is not an NCC cadet, then it's bad. I have seen in Kolhapur NCC girls who are sub-inspectors, inspectors, and what tremendous job they do. I want you all to follow that, because one Kolhapur is equivalent to all those 1,000 districts of India. Everywhere is the same thing, same NCC cadet, same training going on. So I hope I am quite loud and clear on this issue. Okay, so I have taken you down the hill, what we call, or up the hill. I must tell you now two things. We are in a very, very tight place. I've told you we have to take back all these areas which we have lost. We just can't, because if you don't, they'll come and take some more. You have to hit them. That's my Colonel Punch. If you have time, go and have a look at it on the video. Now, remember, Pakistan. Pakistan was never a country. Remember that. It was created. And it never had any land. It never had any people. Balochistan, take Pashtuns, Sinds, all these were on the world map. They were literally nations, ages away. But this was created. And that created so much of blood and instability. They have given away all land in Shaksgam, 5,800 square kilometers. Remember that. The Chinese have built a road through that, 2,000 kilometers. All that is our land. How dare they do it? We have to stand up and tell them. But if you don't, they'll make roads and irrigations everywhere. So you are going to be the leaders. We have done what we could. And I must say, we have not done it badly because we have fought 5 wars. Kargil, we blew them up. You know that, Musharraf. So therefore, all this I'm trying to tell you is, if you are in defense production, if you are in producing winter clothing, if you are producing, you are a farmer. Farmer is a god. He has to produce. Today there is a famine in China. There was a famine in China in 61 also. And Nehru sent tons of rice to them. And then they, hit at us. These are the people, scums. So therefore the farmer must be looked after. He is from rural India. Rural India must be made strong, as Mahatma Gandhi had said, that India lives in its villages. And in its villages and in the tehsils, stay our maximum Ncc cadets. I'm telling you, you boys, just see that you get hold of your lands. When I say that we are nurturing Ncc cadets, it's just like, planting seeds or planting a plant in your Ncc offices. You just don't plant a plant. You make a nice hollow, dig a nice trench, and then you put some manure, and then you put water, and then you see the sunshine comes, and then every 15 days or 10 days, you take out the weeds. But we don't do it. Half our forests have been, now I'm coming down to afforestation. Half our forests are cut. And people are supposed to look after it. I don't know why they look the other way around. We have to regrow, especially us who are in Western Ghats, Aravallis, Himalayas. Remember the river Indus? Now you say that river Indus is only Indus. It's an Indus civilization. Remember that. And the Indus civilization, Indus is, when it comes down, it's Sherlock. Same place, Galwan Heights in Ladakh. The waters of those rivers go into Indus. And the Nubra in Sachin. And then it comes down into the plains. It comes to Sindh and through the Punjab, and all the 5 rivers of Punjab mixed with that. And that is our, Sindhu, or, Harappa and all this. Our culture is based there. And that we have just given away. Oh, you must be very careful of nations. Nations are not built. Mahatma Gandhi, what he said, you must be very clear about it. And how did he say it? Mahatma Gandhi in 1886, when he was in South Africa, he fought the Boer War. Not because the British were good or something like that. Because he says they were, doing the right thing. And he fought as a nursing assistant with ambulance company. Thereafter, in the First World War, he raised an ambulance company. He knows everything on war. He knew about discipline. That's how he created an aura, which the British could not resist. Now, if you have a man of that character, and he said, the moment you got independence, he said, wind up all these political parties and start a new party, because sovereignty of the nation. These people were just doing satyagrahas. The building blocks of a nation doesn't require that. It requires intelligent people who go out and construct a world of their own. Mind you, the biggest and the foremost man was trained as an NCC cadet. Do you know him? Does our history teach you? No, I'll tell you who it is. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was an NCC cadet of those days. And he's the one who saw to it that he raised. You thought Netaji had just gone into a submarine those days from Germany to Southeast Asia, just like that. He was highly trained. NCC cadet is a highly trained man if you want to work. And then he was the one who raised the INA to fight for independence. You are the first man to fly the flag on Andamans. So that is what NCC cadet is all about. You will say, sir, 45 में कैसे थे? They were NCC. Even those days, the Britishers had the NCC in 40s. They were not called NCC, officer units. Of course, then they were scouts, they were guides. So therefore, even, you say the sun never set on the British Empire. Why? Because the school facilities, the wars were fought on the basis of Wheaton and Harrow. All the schools were damn good. Today, our rural India is getting, private public enterprises. I can see every tehsil having, industrial base, engineering colleges, medical colleges, and we are growing at a very fantastic pace. And then it's not just about NCC, Maharashtra Service, Maharashtra MCC, Cadet Corps, that is also there. Then most of the districts have got not only the one Sainik school per state, the government of India one, they have got, every district has got a Sainik school of Maharashtra. So they are all private Sainik schools, but they are teaching the same thing. So imagine the reserve of force which you are going to get. It is estimated that 4 crore youth must be trained in NCC. President Abdul Kalam, he says, I want NCC compulsory to all, but we don't have that, facility, that sort of finance to run 4.5 crores. But public-private enterprise can do it. So now coming to that, now coming to women empowerment. You must have heard people talking. We have to empower. Our women stand only 26 in about 140 nations. We have to get them first because they are capable of doing it. They're so brilliant. They look after everything. And mind you, the toughest thing in the world they did, look at their chivalry, courage, discipline. 216. They created a world record. 40 NCC girls cadet went up the camps of Mount Everest. 10+1. Climbed the Mount Everest peak. What is that? That is what is empowerment of women. Now, Kiran Bedi, IPS, Tramrod, tennis player. But try and tell her, go and knock out the chap's hut. Will she do it? Like, go to the nearest well and dive into it. No. Well, that's sort of a power we want. Sushma Swaraj, she was not scared of anyone. She told the Chinese, mind your way. If she would have lived today to see what we have done to the Chinese in Chushul by occupying those helmet heights. Rozangla, the Battle of Rozangla, we lost 123 people out of 127. 1, 2, 3. And they fought to the last bullet. Now all that area is back with us. Major Shaitan Singh, I am sure His Excellency. Shaitan Singh, you remember his name? No one will remember. Oh, we know all people who don't do any work. Just take a car and with a flag go around everywhere. This man fought till the very end. We had Second World War, First World War weapon systems. No one was prepared. That time, there was a one general, Lieutenant General Thorat, if you remember. He had a Thorat plan in 61. He told them, please wake up and, fight a battle the way he said, in a defense line in the northeast. But then Menon was not prepared to listen. He did not give the clothing. He did not. These people resigned on one day. But this was told to them 3 years in advance. And thereafter, both Timaya and General Thorat retired on the same day, leaving the entire thing black. And one of their comrades was then Brigadier General Field Marshal Manch. He told Indra, well, 6 months. I like to train my men. I will just not put them into battle. You have to get organized. What I'm trying to tell you is, gentlemen, whatever you become a small-time businessman, a big-time businessman, you become an industrialist, you become a writer, you become a producer, you make vehicles, you make aircrafts, you are in R&D, whatever small thing is there, respect your work. If you become a policeman, you become a soldier, respect your work. You are the biggest man. If you don't respect your work and you let some fool sitting in some office tell you, nahi, aisa nahi, ye road ko band kar do, wo ye kar do, ye gira do. No, it's your business. So be very firm and don't, your character must be above everything. Just let me see if I can. Yeah. Women empowerment, I told you, disaster management. Wow. Now you cut all your trees, you removed all the sand of the rivers and nalas. What are you going to have? Disaster. Remember the Gujarat earthquake in 2001? Terrible. Nearly 20,000 people were dead. And 140, villages were marooned or shaken. 2 lakh people were injured. And that happened on the Republic Day. The NCC boys were there all over, in the villages, in the schools, in the colleges. And they rose to the occasion. And people were evacuated, first aid was given, houses were rebuilt. No, that is what NCC is. Now come down to 2013, Uttarakhand. Oh God. 4,500 villages were affected. 6,000 nearly people died. And who were at the forefront? The NCC Cadet. Because सब लोग तो सब लोग, they will say, oh, policeman को वहाँ भेजो, policeman will say NCC Cadet को भेजो. NCC Cadet has to be trained now. Remember that. I also want you to tell you, I advise you, for God's sake, learn swimming. The most beautiful thing on the earth. If you can swim, half your battle is won everywhere. You become a leader. You become a leader. You can't. No, boatman ko karne do. What nonsense is this? Tell your Gram Panchayat or ZP or some minister, see that I boys have a swimming pool in the river itself. You don't have to have a swimming pool somewhere. You have marked areas, have correct depth, 4 feet. Learn swimming, learn boating, learn sailing. No, that is what NCC teaches you. By God, they makes you expert Shivaji Trail trekkers. No, you just don't have to go and walk. Carry your camera, carry your paintbrush, write a story on Panala or wherever you go. That Narmada trek, which goes right up to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Oh, great. people who fused India. That is what is integration. India is a big country, national integration. Remember what Dr. Radhakrishnan said. You know Dr. Radhakrishnan? Yeah. The man, the president of India, who said, national integration is not done made of bricks, mortars, cement, mud, hammers. You know that hammer? Hammers. Not made of that. It is done very silently, very quietly, very silently, very quietly through education, through persuasion, through adult education. Right? All dharmas are equal. We know it. India for ages, we have, religions which are born in India, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism. And we got an old concept of heritage, customs. Look after it. Just don't wear a pant and a shirt and start going around. I'm telling you, today the pajama man or a dhoti man is brilliant. He can teach you two more things. Learn it from them. You'll say, sir, SSB, why is SSB so difficult? It's not difficult at all. You have to work hard. You cannot give anything. This is a competition. It's a competitive exam. So there is a physical part, the obstacle part. Get over it. Train yourself. Or if you are going for recruitment, go for that run. Day after night, if you want to join. Or you want to become a mathematician, go and solve problems one after another. Find good teachers. I will say, sir, but what about preparation by SSB? You have to prepare. You have to go to the best coach. And SSB means what? You got all that plus the physical side, the team spirit side that you can practice, do it, learn, take guidance. Just don't do it. You don't have to go to a jungle for that. Okay, you got Googles. Oh, look at the whole world. Even sitting in a village, you can get yourself educated. You don't have to become a Maha something to go to a jungle and start studying. You will get nuts there. So you are a smart chap, a smart age. So do it. Now IQ. Now, millions of ways you can learn IQ. Solve those problems of IQ and all that, general knowledge. And if you do swimming, if you do driving, if you do a little bit of agriculture, because you play games, no one can fail you at SSB in that IQ test. You just all bothered. No one can fail you because you'll be able to tell the truth that you have done this. You can't say I played cricket and then you say, oh, but I don't know who's Sunil Gavaskar or who's Tendulkar or Sobers. That you'll be get caught. So when you go for that interview and for that examination, SSB Made, be very clear that you have achieved something in your life and you'll tell that to that chap. How dare you fail you? You can take it from me. You will pass not only an SSB exam, you will pass in any exam in your life. But what Mahatma Gandhi had said, hard work is key to success. So today I've told you about Mahatma Gandhi ji, I've told you about Abdul Kalam, President, and I've told you a lot about sovereignty, security, absolute courage, chivalry. I've told you of woman empowerment. It cannot be anything better than what it is already. I want all this, it's about 33% girls. I want a very high lot of girls to join Ncc because they can do what others can't. They can control these missiles. They can control the highly sophisticated equipment all over. all over America, Canada, Europe. Why are Indians doing so well? Why are Indians doing so well? They got that IQ in them, given to them over ages. Make use of it. And don't say, oh, मैं पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो कैरेक्टर तो अपने फैमिली में आ जाएगा, बहुत फैमिली में आ जाएगा. वैसे नहीं होता है. Today is a competitive world. मैं तो नेता बन जाऊंगा. My right foot will become a neta. If you don't look after your people, you will come down. You know what a leader is? People will follow you, and they won't follow you. Do they follow a monkey? No. Do they follow a duffer? No. You know, this man has got the guts to stand by them, to create an environment for them, to let them work independently. He'll subdelegate the work. So that is what trust is all about. So when you become a leader, you trust your people also and delegate responsibilities. Just don't work like a mule. Now, one thing I'm telling you, gentlemen, you know, all of a sudden, this world is hit by depression and this and that. You might have lot of options. After all, it's your mind. You can't say, मैं सिर्फ army join करूँगा. No, your option should be army, police, SSB, going into other departments of security, intelligence. Or if you're going to become a doctor and you study for doctor and you don't make it, doesn't mean you have to become a doctor. You can become everything else than a doctor. You can, do pharmacy. You can do, nursing. You can be a damn good teacher. But do it. Don't say, मैं नहीं बन गया तो मेरे को depression आ गया. What nonsense. These are the people who don't want to work. Now, if your crop fails once, twice, thrice, you have to change your pattern of thinking, a pattern of cropping. And if the water is flooding every time, or if there is a famine, you on the ground have to do something about it. You can't say, oh, 5,000 साल से आ रहा है, हम क्या करेंगे? No, that is what is depression. Remember, in a book I read, I would not tell you that, okay? So you have to fight depression. Can't say, this thing is going, oh, my mother, my parents are responsible. What my parents and mother? You burn the midnight oil day in and out and see that you can do it. Okay, now I have nearly completed my thing in total. Baki core values, so many people have spoken to you. Social empowerment, the footprints of ours must reach every village of Ncc, right? There's blood donation, 50,000 liters is what we have asked for. Afforestation has spoken to you, you must plant your trees and look after them. Shramdan, yeah, do the Shramdan. Mind you, in your company, in your camps, I'll request Ncc to, see that you have some periods allotted to Shramdan in the nearest village. Must do it. Adult education, digital. No, if you don't do it, going to schools and colleges and all that, who's going to do it? Must do it. You must be responsible. When you are responsible and you go for an SSB, then you will realize that whatever the child is asking you psychologically, you will answer them on a bat. And you will be the winner. Right? Front drive, square drive. This is all coaching. That Sunil Gavaskar, Tendulkar, slip catching and all. They have not been born with it. Work. Okay. Or the Natekarcha, badminton. I know. You shall only say, oh, my father or my mother has not taught me anything. You will have to learn yourself. I'll tell you of a army officer. His son was challenged, totally challenged. He could not even lift a pen or walk. He could only sit tight like me, the way I'm sitting tight, and think. And then his father started. Those days, there was no Google's, your guru. Big use of Google. See that you got a smartphone. Don't say, 5,000 साल पहले नहीं था तो अब क्या जरूरत है? Look after your parents. Don't say, उन्होंने नहीं देखा तो मैंने नहीं किया. So, I'm telling you about this. So, be good. Be generous. And the world will look after you. The world will respect you. And have empathy to all. You'll say, how you're Fauji? How does he talk? Yeah, we have gone through it. Mahatma Gandhi ji also went through this. Fire, they call it. I say, घर में बैठ के, you cannot push the Britishers out and the Chinese out. You have to work it. You must understand the organization. You have to make blocks. You must see what your weaknesses are. Overcome your weaknesses. You must see what your boys want. Put them into the lead. NCC will shine. Shine like the stars. Be good. Be nice. Thank you. Jai Hind.